All right, Lucas, let's talk about Donaldo Trump.
Donaldo, love that.
Donaldo Trump. All right, so
Donaldo, what's his middle name? Jay something, right?
Donald J. Trump. Yeah, I would guess James.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. Shane's
Jameson?
gone. He quit, so we can't. Hey, Shane.
Shout out to Shane's mom.
Shout out to Shane's mom. Shane's not even here because he quit.
Love you, Shane. He's driving T.O.'s moving truck though tomorrow.
Let's go.
But anyway, so
what's Donald
Trump,
Trump's middle name?
Last episode we got into
John.
John. I said Jonathan.
So you're wrong.
Donaldo, Jonathano, Trumpo. So so last episode, Kiki and I had some ideas on why we think he won. And
give me that real quick.
I'd break it down into three things.
Okay.
Super simple and tactical. Kiki's got a more like moral compass approach to it, but three things super tactical to me. And I like these. All right.
Okay. Just say them already.
Say 'em. Okay. Number one is people are pissed about inflation and the cost of everything going up.
Yep.
And whether that's the president's fault or not, people look at the president and this administration for causing that.
100% agree with that. I don't think it is 100%. I think it's very little their fault. It's the Fed. But anyways, yes. Go ahead. I agree.
I think that's a big one.
I agree.
Pissed.
I think that's one of the biggest ones. Yep.
Number two, I'll kick it back to what the Democratic side did is just the whole way this nominee went down was just left a bad taste in some people's mouths that are kind of in the middle.
A lot of people that are in the middle, they're like, that's not how democracy works.
Well, even that, it's like before that, they tried to hide the fact that Biden was declining so much. I think it was a good decision to get him out of the race.
But they were pretending like they were going to throw him out there.
I know.
I feel
and
bad
then all of a
for
sudden,
him.
Boom.
I really feel bad for Biden.
Yeah.
He's really losing it.
And for sure. Like he's a different person from now to where he was 4 years ago.
And imagine
Completely
4 years,
person. Yeah. So he is not fit for office, and then they try to hide it, and boom, we got a new nominee already. So just the way that whole thing went down was kind of sketch, and then the timeline on that was tight for a country to build trust in a person that is in an inflationary economy. It's just not enough time. Honestly, they don't even know her, and it was like 3 months that she had to win election against Donald Trump. So that's a reason to me.
And everybody knows Donald, good or bad.
Yep. And then the last part was just Donald's kind of just resilience and grit he's shown with the assassination attempts and just pretty much that the assassination attempt and his ability to push through that and come out on the other side. I think garnered some votes for sure. So those are three things that I have.
I like them. I got a couple more to
simple.
add, and then we'll get to these things. I promise. I think it's interesting. It's our podcast. We can say what we want.
Say whatever the fuck we want.
Yes, fuck shit. All right. So
cock balls.
Cock balls. Yeah, old school. I was gonna say
we're not live, so fuck it.
Lucas. So I agree with all of that, and I also think a big part of it, and I've heard some Democrats say this as well, as like Jon Stewart, who's kind of just the way that they ran the campaign
For
was
sure.
They raised $1 billion, more than
spent it all on the ground
and
ground
knocking on doors and all this stuff. It's like, what good does that
part
do?
Of it, for sure.
But the biggest thing to me was, and I heard somebody say this on CNN, they're like, this over-the-topness that the left is doing right now, and I'm not right or left, I'm very much in the middle, it's got to stop or they're going to lose this. They're trash, they're deplorables, and they're like, they're not trash. You're calling over half the country trash right now. Like, what are you doing? That drives divisiveness, and people are sick of that. Like, I'm not trash. Like, people are like defying it. I'm not trash. I'm not deplorable. I'm not all these things. The fact that you think that, I'm going to go vote for Donald. I think that was huge.
When and then Biden said that, you're saying?
Kamala said that. That's why Trump and Vivek and all those guys were running around trash trucks, because she called anybody that votes for Donald Trump trash.
Okay, I thought that was Biden.
Maybe no, it was Biden. You're right, but still, you're right. It was Biden. That whole side, and then
the vice president of that.
Obviously Clinton did the deplorables thing. And it's just like they're so over the top. Like, I still see every news article on my Apple feed from like almost every news is still just trash and Trump. Like, you lose credibility. I think Rogan said this. You lose credibility when every single thing you say about a person is negative and you never give any.
Agreed.
So then, like, people stop listening, and some of the stuff is true probably. A lot of it's not, but they're just like, all right, I'm done with that. So I
Yeah.
think I think the media swung way too far left and it pushed people off. I think that's one of the bigger things too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how the media plays into that, but
Well, I mean, the media-
in general, the left side, I could see that.
Well, the media, whether left or right, the media, I mean, everything you see is like, just everything I see is a lot of things about Donald Trump on the phone. Of course, it's about crypto right now. But anyways, a lot of it's just every single article I've ever seen written was negative. And I think there was a study out there that like 95% of the articles on Kamala, every 95% of the posts on Kamala were negative and like 90 or positive, and like 80% on Trump were negative. It's just like a huge swing. People like he can't be that bad. So, anyways, that's what I think.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Lucas, let's get into some actual facts and policy. So,
Yeah.
Trump's done a lot of different things. We're not going to get into all the appointments that he has been making recently because those, I believe, still have to be approved by the Senate. So not all of them are actually going to go through. The one I do want to talk about, though, is Doge.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like 2 or 3 months ago, I saw Musk quote, or he did a little tweet that was like Doge Department of Government Efficiency, and like it was a Dogecoin, so it's like this whole play on like the Dogecoin, all this stuff, and then that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Trump just appointed Vivek, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, and Musk to clean up the government and get rid of all the inefficiencies. Musk claims that they can like wipe out most of the national like deficit by just cleaning up all the inefficiencies.
Yeah.
I've seen some numbers on what we spend on the like the school, like the education system, the education board, the National Education Board, whatever you want to call it. I'm sure I'm not calling it the right thing. How much money they spend on that, like how much money all the states will get now that they're going to try to take to the state level, and things like that. I am the less government gets their sticky fingers and stuff, the better, I think.
For the most part.
Not in
absolutely.
everything. I'm definitely,
Yeah,
so.
for the most part. So,
And that is a little more right-leaning stance. Like I have a lot of left-leaning stances too, but that one's a little more right-leaning.
yeah, I wouldn't even consider that right-leaning. To me, it just is the right thing to do. It's I don't know why. It's like it feels like kind of revolutionary almost in a way. Like it feels really big, right? And I'm sure something has been like looked at or done or something like this, but this feels bigger than that for some reason. And it might
Doge
be
thing, yeah.
yeah. And whether I like Elon. Could be decent at that, but I don't. He could be bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's good at running companies. He is the richest man in the world.
Yeah, I would say
He's good at making companies profitable.
He's okay at that.
The wealthiest
He's okay.
person.
Well, his wealth comes from the value of his stock, but as far as like profitability of each of his companies, not the best track record. Personally,
it depends. Yeah,
he spends a lot of money for investments and stuff, so it's an interesting role for him. But I think he'll be a better mind than anybody else.
Well, and I think a lot of his stuff he did with like X, and I mean, he apparently fired like 80% of people at X, and it's still running and it's got more views than ever. So that's
X,
a thing.
That'll be interesting. So that's
similar feel.
When you think of his most recent things that he did, people probably look at X and what he did there, and that's probably
wiped off a ton of people and
to
it's
what he
still
does
working.
here. Yeah, so I think it'd be cool. I'm kind of excited.
And I
about
like
that.
Vivek a lot. I really do.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but
I think
he
you would
seems
like
him. Good dude.
39 our age, and he's got a couple $1 billion biotech companies. Like
I don't even know what that means. So,
neither do I. Bio and tech sound good.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's done very well for himself. He was a classmate of Vance. How wild is that?
That is weird.
In Ohio,
Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay, so that's the first one. We just wanted to get out there a little bit of the Doge deal. Who knows exactly what that will look like in Department of Education, what I was trying to say earlier. So yeah, in general, I do think there's a lot of misuse of tax dollars, and hopefully this will help a little bit of that.
For sure.
And the Department of Education, I think Jimmy Carter took it from the state level to the federal level, and then we were first in the world, and now we're 24th. So like we've never
Something
been worse,
Yeah.
like education-wise. We were first, and now we're way down there. So,
Yeah.
anyways, cool.